From abandoned islands to catacombs where mummies line the walls, these are 10 of the creepiest places you can actually visit. Number 10. Church of the Nine Ghosts. This medieval church in the Czech village of Lukova was deemed cursed by the locals and left to rot for 30 years. In 1968, St. George's Church roof collapsed, leaving it abandoned. However, a local artist saved the site from demolition by arranging these ghostly figures in the church's aisles and pews. Although this one is artificial, it still draws your eye in a creepy manner. This one was set up as a display, so hopefully it gets left alone for a long time to add to the eerie effect. Number 9. The world's largest voodoo market. In Togo's capital city of Lomé, this is the best place to be for anything you might need for a ritual. From shrunken human skulls to animal remains, you can find them all here in a variety of decaying states. Shocking though it may be, voodoo is the largest religion in the surrounding areas, and it's still a normal walk of life for most people there. Locals describe it as a place to find treatment when traditional methods are not the answer. Some of the things easily obtainable there in large quantities are dead leopards, goats, alligators, gazelles, and monkeys. Number 8. The Catacombs of Paris. To the south of the former city gate Barrière d'Enfer, also known as the Gate of Hell, you will find the Catacombs of Paris, the final resting place of over 6 million people. The catacombs were founded due to lack of space in cemeteries, and one cemetery's situation became urgent in 1780 when a property adjoined to the Renaissance cemetery gave way under the weight of the mass grave behind it. Every night between 1786 and 1788, processions of bones were taken from cemeteries to the reinforced tunnels, and more remains were added in later years. Since the early 19th century, the catacombs have been a well-known tourist attraction, and it has been open to the public since 1874. Number 7. Hashima Island. About 15 kilometers from Nagasaki, you can find an abandoned coal mining facility called Hashima Island, also known as Ghost Island, due to the creepy atmosphere that surrounds it. Its population reached its high in 1974, with around 5,259 people living there. When petroleum replaced coal in Japan during the 1960s, Hashima was completely abandoned. In 2009, a small portion of the island was reopened to tourists, and many tourist boat trips still stop there. The island also appeared in the Bond film Skyfall as the lair of Raoul Silva in 2012. Number 6. The village of Dargavs, Russia. Also known as the City of the Dead, the small buildings in this area are actually tombs or crypts. There are many different legends that surround why exactly the tombs were built here, although the locals tend to avoid the area due to fear that they won't come back alive. Some sources say that some of the oldest crypts date back to the 16th century and were constructed due to a plague in the area that destroyed most of the population. The houses were built to house the dead and for a place for the remaining loved ones to wait to die, as they had no one left to bury them. The families that buried their loved ones here buried them along with their personal belongings and other generations of loved ones. Some have 2 or 3 floors depending on how many generations of family are inside. Apparently, if you peer through the windows, you can still see skeletal remains. There are even tombs for people from outside the village and non-family members. Number 5. Skull Chapel. This chapel in Poland was built in 1776 by local parish priest Waclaw Tomozek together with J. Schmidt and grave digger J. Langer. It is constructed from the people who died during the 30 Years' War between 1618 and 1648, 3 Silesian Wars, as well as people who died to the cholera, plague, syphilis and hunger epidemics. The walls of this small church are lined with 3,000 skulls along with another 21,000 people in the basement. The skulls of the builders were placed in the centre of the building and on the altar in 1804. Also on the altar are a crucifix and 2 carvings of angels, one with a Latin inscription that reads "Arise from the dead." Number 4. Actun Tunichil Muknal. This cave in Belize near San Ignacio is noted as a Maya archaeological site at which you can find skeletons, ceramics and stoneware. The Maya modified the cave formations here to create altars, silhouettes of face and animals, or to project shadow images into the cave. The site has many areas with skeletal remains, especially in the main chamber. The most famous of these remains is one of an adolescent who some believe to be a sacrifice victim, known as the Crystal Maiden, the bones of which have been calcified, which gives them a sparkling, crystallized effect. Number 3. The Catacombs of Palermo. After the death of a famous 16th century monk, the Capuchin Catacombs of Palermo were built to honour him and now holds the mummified remains of over 8,000 people. Most bodies are on display hanging from the walls by their necks and feet, and some are in a lying in bed-like manner. Many of the bodies are well preserved due to a highly effective embalming process. Originally intended for friars, the catacombs became a place for families to spend time with their deceased and could even come and change their clothes if they wanted to. The bodies are all arranged into categories throughout the halls: men, women, virgins, children, priests, monks and professionals. The last burial performed was Rosalia Lombardo, a 2-year-old who remains in almost perfect physical condition despite the fact she was buried over 90 years ago, gaining her the nickname Sleeping Beauty of Palermo. Number 2. The Mütter Museum. This museum was originally a group of specimens and medical tools to be used for educational purposes. The museum now houses a huge collection of over 20,000 specimens, of which about 13% are on display. Among the collection within the museum there are several human skeletons, including the tallest skeleton on exhibit in North America at 7'6". A collection of over 139 skulls, and just about any body part stuffed into preservation jars, including cysts and tumours. There are also many wax models to show various examples of pathology within the human body. Although the museum displays all the normal body parts you might find about a person, it also has famous and unusual body parts, like a piece of tissue removed from the thorax of John Wilkes Booth, he was the assassin of President Abraham Lincoln, and the conjoined liver from famous Siamese twins Chang and Eng Bunko. It also is the only place where members of the public can view slides of Albert Einstein's brain. Number 1. Isla de las Muñecas. Also known as the Island of Dolls, south of Mexico City lies a small island on which you will find hundreds of dolls attached to and hanging from the trees. The origin of the dolls happens to be tied to a very sad but strange story. Apparently many years ago a young girl drowned due to mysterious circumstances on the island. A local man tried to save her but failed in his attempt. Days later he found a doll floating in the water and tied it to the tree to please the girl's spirit. He then continued to add more dolls as he felt a huge amount of guilt for what happened to the girl. Locals and loved ones of the man said that it was like he was driven by an unseen force that completely changed him. Others say the girl never existed. Either way, the dolls are very real and you can go there. Visitors to the island have reported hearing the dolls whispering to each other, moving and luring them towards the dolls. Whatever you believe, it is apparently very creepy to visit, especially at night. So thanks for watching everyone. Let me know which one of these was your favourite in the comment section if you can. Have a great day, and until next time, take it easy.